Excuse me. Can I disturb you a second?
No.
You could be a little bit nicer about it.
Keep quiet.
Hello?
So, you got him then, this air?
Ah, it's you, Mr. Marson. Good day, and how are you, sir?
I'll feel a whole lot better when this whole business is over and the sales contract is signed. Where the hell are you?
I'm in Barkstadt.
What? What in God's name are you doing there?
It's a magnificent university town. It would appear Hans Vorarlberg once passed by here several years ago.
So if he isn't there anymore, then there's no point hanging around.
I hear what you're saying, sir, but I have good reason to believe that Hans Vorarlberg is still alive. For the time being, I'm trying to gather extra information from people who have known him.
What's your next destination?
I'm not exactly sure yet.
Doesn't sound like you know too much, Kate.
I just need a bit of time, Mr. Marson.
Yeah, well, time is what you ain't got. Keep me posted.
Hello.
Hey, baby, you party? You sure looking mighty fine. Love those big, round eyes.
Just who do you think you are?
Hey, spunky. I'd like that in a lady. Okay, I'm hooked. Come on, Zol. I'll let you buy me that coffee.
I don't remember ever asking.
Hey, don't play hard to get. I know you like it big time.
Listen, kid. Go back home and play with your toy cars and forget you ever saw me. These shelves look as if they're made for no point. Everything okay, Oscar?
Yes, Kate Walker.
Oscar, there's no way you could.
Rust away.
Oscar, the sailors have agreed to tow the train, but they want to get paid for it. I suppose you have some petty cash on board to cover traveling costs?
No, there is nothing like that. You will note, however, Kate Walker, that every effort has been made to ensure maximum passenger comfort.
Okie dokie. I'll have to sort this one out by myself then. You don't know where I might find any Amazon Forest Sauvignon, do you?
No, Kate Walker.
You should take a look around the station.
I am
Oscar?
in a while.
Do excuse me, Professor. Professor, sorry to disturb you again. Professor, I have brought you something that should be of interest to you. Look.
What have you got there, then? Let's see. An effigy of a mammoth. But this is Hans' doll, is it not? Yes, of course it is. How on earth did you... Oh, my God. It's in my hands. It exists. It really exists. Please do excuse me. I'm deeply, deeply moved.
You see? Your Hans and my Vorarlberg heir are one and the same.
This is incredible. After all these years, how can I ever thank you, my dear? Oh, I must waste no time. I'm off to my laboratory. I must study this carefully. May I borrow your treasure a moment?
Well, actually,
Don't worry, miss. I will take the greatest care of it. But I need to study it. You see, it has such importance to me that this very afternoon I shall deliver an impromptu lecture to my students about this very object. If you are interested in Hans Vorarlberg, then it is essential that you attend.
do you think so?
Obviously. Give me your telephone number and I will call you the moment my lecture begins. I will return you your doll at the end. You have my word. is it you want to know, miss?
Professor, how do I say this? You see, I didn't think I'd need a lot of money when I set out.
My dear,
Sorry,
however...
if I were to say Forest Sauvignon to you, what would you say?
Oh, let's see. Sauvignon. Sauvignon? I would say it's some kind of tropical shrub, don't you think?
We are talking about the same plant then. It is a very rare shrub with small, juicy fruits. I found a book about the Amazon, and it says that there are even Sauvignon plants growing right here in Barrackstadt. You wouldn't know where, would you?
Amazon Sauvignon plants here? No. No, I don't think there are any. Highly implausible. But you should ask the station master. He is keeper of the greenhouse at our university, so he could tell you more than me.
Oh, thanks very much. My train stopped in a
Ornithology.
Are there? The Thank you. What would you say about seeing Hans Vorarlberg again? After all, you could come with me and help me find him.
Young lady, you are very kind. I'm far too old for such escapades.
You told me earlier about a lecture on some ancient Siberian tribe called the Ooks or something?
The Yukuls, my dear. Careful not to confuse them with the Ukistran people of Central Asia.
Do excuse me. I wanted to know if your lecture is going to start soon.
Your eagerness to learn delights me, my dear. But I haven't finished studying this marvelous mammoth effigy yet. Don't worry, I will call you. And see you later.
Your Hans Vorarlbergs. Can you... I'll leave...
Sorry?
I'm sorry to disturb you.
What can I do for you, miss?
Where might I find some Forest Sauvignon plants, please?
No place around here, that's for sure. I don't know what you're talking about. That stuff's from the Amazon.
You know, for someone who knows nothing about the plant, you seem pretty well informed about which mysterious faraway country it comes from.
Oh, Amazon, Peru, Papua New Guinea, it's all the same to me. Gotta go. Gotta work.
Wait, don't go. You know what? I don't think he was being totally straight with me. Excuse me, Station Master, but I need you again.
Can't you see I am very, very busy?
No.
Well, I am. Very busy indeed. But, okay, I think I can give you a minute of my time.
I feel like I've lost my way a little here.
Hey, anything I can do?
I've just been to see the rectors, and they...
I thought they'd say that. Rules are rules.
Absolutely.
Well, I suggest you...
But it's like I say, the springs are unwound.
The locomotive's engine might not work, it's true.
It's a possibility.
Nothing.
The sailors on the bar...
Miss, really? I'm surprised.
Right.
Look, lady, I'm only a...
I'm looking for a kind of little juicy berry. You don't know where I could find some?
Look, lady, the station doesn't have any Sauvignon berries, not even forest Sauvignon.
Funny you should mention it. That's exactly what I was looking for. Forest Sauvignon.
Sauvignon, raspberries, red currants, they're all the same to me. And we don't grow none of them here.
But you see, I have just read a very interesting book which says that the rare Sauvignon berry is actually cultivated here in the famous Baruchstadt University aviary itself.
Well, if it's in a book, then don't believe everything you read, miss.
I don't know why, but I don't think you're telling me the truth.
What do you mean? I don't know. How should I know where to find your stupid grape? Go ask your professor, what's his name, Pons, the paleontologist.
But you're the master of this station, so you should know better than anyone.
Nobody tells me anything. I don't know. Go see the old guy with the fossils.
All these birds... It was... I see. You have...
Oh, what?
Why not? You...
What?
I feel like I've...
Welcome to...
Hans, I have some very sad news. Our father is dead. He passed away peacefully last Sunday in his sleep. I feel so lonely now.
Father had been but a shadow of himself since your departure. I had to take care of everything for him. Housework, factory paperwork, the workforce, clients, everything. And now, today, well, I really don't know who or what I'm fighting for. Times are so hard, and this terrible war is destroying everything. Nobody cares for our automatons anymore. I just think about you returning. And when you do return, I will have turned this factory into a palace worthy of your genius. Please take care of yourself. I love you so much, Anna.
Everything okay, Oscar?
Yes, Kate Walker. I am awaiting your instructions.
You don't know where I might find any Amazon Forest Sauvignon, do you?
No, Kate Walker.
Oscar? See you later, alligator.
In a while, Kate Walker.
want to know, miss?
You wouldn't know where the forest Sauvignon plants are kept in Barakstadt, would you?
Why do you think there are Sauvignon plants here?
I read about it in a book at the library.
Try going to see the station master. If such a shrub exists, he will have a better idea than anyone.
It's actually he who sent me to you. I thought it a little strange, but he definitely said ask the paleontologist. You're the only one here, aren't you?
Yes, indeed. What a strange way to behave. Well, I think he must have made a mistake, that's all. Nobody tells me anything here. Maybe you should ask the rectors. After all, they are in charge of the university.
All right, thanks. I'll leave you in peace.
Sorry? No, not at all, my dear child.
Gentlemen, forgive me for disturbing you again, but I have a little problem.
A little problem, a little problem. Everyone has little problems now, you know.
They are kept to oneself, and they don't stop the world from turning.
Nor trains from leaving stations.
Are you sure there are no Amazon Sauvignon plants in Barakstadt? Because I have just interviewed the station master and the paleontologist, and what they said really didn't convince me that there wasn't any here.
We are quite definite on this point. There are no Sauvignon plants growing in Barakstadt.
You see, miss, the Amazon Forest Sauvignon is a rare shrub that requires very special conditions for growth.
That's right. Conditions that are very hard to reproduce, believe you me.
Difficult, but not impossible. Fortunately, our garden has proved very successful.
Your garden? So, there is a garden in Barakstadt?
Oh, the garden. Well, if there was one, it would be only a little garden hidden behind the station. But our station master would be very proud of it.
He would take very good care of it, too. Everything would grow marvelously if we were able to cultivate it at all, and it would be all down to his gardening prowess.
And we would be proud as punch. And we wouldn't forget the role the paleontologist might play in this.
What's the paleontologist got to do with it all?
Without him and without his laboratory, how would we make the wine, do you think?
And it would be good wine indeed, my dear colleagues, would it not?
Oh, yes, a delightful balm to soothe away our long hours of toil and our heavy responsibilities.
We would wait impatiently every year for the arrival of the year's produce.
So, if I have understood you correctly, there are indeed Sauvignon plants in Barakstadt. They are cultivated in a garden behind the station, then turned into wine by the paleontologist's loving care, and finally, the pleasure of tasting is yours. If I'm not very much mistaken, gentlemen, you have a minor racket operating here.
Miss, you do go jumping to some hasty conclusions.
We never said that. That's not what we said at all.
We were talking in the conditional, you know, with ifs and woulds.
So, what would happen if I had such a hunch?
You would have to keep it to yourself, of course.
Yes, if you would be so kind as to keep it a secret. It would only be a small local concern, producing barely a few bottles every year.
That's right. Nothing so grandiose as a business. Otherwise, we'd be liable to be fined. So, we can count on your discretion, can't we?
Don't worry, I have no intention at all of getting messed up in anything. Can you possibly help me out here?
Miss, your insistence is almost verging on indecency.
We cannot constantly be at your disposal. We have many other requests to attend to.
If you don't mind, could you not disturb us all the time? Thank you.
Could I possibly leave?
Out of the question! Trains should first stop, then
Perform the task we agreed on. Quick.
A deal.
If I were to...
But the station master would have to let you in.
Yes, if that...
Here we are, busy.
Already?
Thank you for a...
And thank you. Excuse me, station master, but I need you again.
Can't you see I am very, very... Mine?
The sail... Right.
Look, lady.
You have been playing with me, haven't you? You knew very well there were forest Sauvignon berries in the station garden.
No, not at all. I've never seen your Sauvignon things.
You don't have to lie to me. I know all about it. You and the rectors are in cahoots, and the professor's lab has been turned into a distillery. You've all got a nice little smuggling racket on the side.
Smuggling racket? Hey, lady, you're going a bit far there. It's just a little on-the-side thing we got going, that's all. It's just for ourselves. Hey, be honest.
You should be ashamed of yourselves. Aren't you worried about the reputation of this fine university? The authorities should be informed of this.
But we haven't done anything wrong. It's not a crime.
Can you open the gate to the garden, please?
Oh, sure. No problemo. Right away, miss. There you are. Please feel free to visit the garden at your leisure. And there was just one thing. I'm not a liar. Not really. Just mum's the word. There is the reputation of the university to think about. And I have superiors, and I have to do what I can.
I understand. Don't you worry.
Oh, thank you, miss.
I don't need that for... impossible to reach it.
Yeah, miss, please, excuse me.
Yes?
You know, I want to apologize for our little misunderstanding. I brought you a bottle of wine. Barakstadt Sauvignon. Very good year. Let me know what you think.
I'm very touched. Thank you.
Good luck on your journey, lady.
Thank you. Gentlemen, forgive me.
A little problem.
They are kept to...
Nor train.
Gentlemen, I have managed to repair your university bandstand.
The bandstand is playing again. This is marvelous news.
We are really very grateful indeed.
Yes, very grateful indeed. We will look back on your visit with much fondness in our hearts.
And now let us in turn honor our word. How much is it you need, miss?
$100, if it's not too much to ask.
Something about
We agree to grant you the aforementioned sum, miss. You may now leave with your train.
And while we're on the subject, when will you be leaving?
Yes, because now you should relocate your train as quickly as possible. Here we are, busy.
All right.
Thank you for...
And thank...
What is it you want to...
You told me earlier about a Do excuse me.
Your eagerness to learn delights me, my dear. But...
What would you say about seeing...
Sorry?
There you go. Here's your money. I've checked it. It's all there. Ah, thank you.
Not difficult get dollar. See? You are a real businesswoman.
I'm not the only one around here.
We pleased to do deal with you. Now, you open lock or we no help you.
Why didn't you manage to open them? After all, you don't have to be a genius.
Ma vad pensinos esto? Di kleina madam. No se saye marales non comprendo en allora kaput en andere bordel. Zirs var moi. On boom telefonieren kaput.
My husband say instructions complicated. No understand manual. My husband angry. Very angry. Oh, now telephone broke. Kaput.
Now that is annoying. What are you going to do next?
We wait repairman.
Well, I don't have the time to wait. I'll have to go have a look. There must be some way of releasing the opening mechanism.
Take key. Seller always need key for lock.
Okay, thanks. Hello?
Kay, how's my little baby girl? I was thinking about you only yesterday because I saw this fantastic fur coat. You are wrapping up warm, aren't you? I mean, people in foreign countries never know how to dress properly for the weather.
Mom, it's so sweet of you to worry, but I'm fine, really. The trip's a breeze, no worries. I mean, there's...
Well, when are you coming back? Frank is dying to meet you.
Frank? Oh, yeah, your singer. You two seeing each other then?
Oh, you'll never guess the surprise he gave me yesterday.
No, I suppose I won't.
Frank invited me to a big charity show organized by, someone or another. Anyway, they got him singing a couple of old numbers from his repertoire, and in the end, he asked me to go up on stage with him. Can you imagine me, your mother, on stage in front of thousands of people?
Wow, I would have loved to have been there. Not too emotional, I hope.
Oh, too emotional by far, especially as I hadn't even been to the hairdresser. Well, I didn't even have the proper dress on. But Frank promised me he'd see to that next time. Oh, he's such a cutie, and he's got the sweetest little...
I'm sure he has, Mom.
It would be so good if you could join us one day. Let's see, when is his next gala? I'm so forgetful these days. I swear I'd lose my head if it weren't in the clouds. You just watch out, my girl. Them years will catch up with you much quicker than you think.
I'll look out for them, Ma. Nice to hear your voice. Lots of love.
Well, to you too, my little munchkin.
The instructions are written in a language I don't recognize. That looks broken.
Welcome to the East Block Control Center. To start, press the number sign. If you are using the Haltenberg lock, press 1. If you are using the Morloff lock, press 2. If you are using the Conning... If you want to raise the water level, press 1. If you want to lower the water level, press 2. You want to raise. To confirm your choice, press star. Your request has been logged.
I'm sorry to disturb you.
What can I do for you, miss?
I feel like I've lost...
Hey!
I've just been to see the rectors, and they told... Absolutely.
Well,
But it... I won't disturb you any longer, Mr. Station Master.
Welcome to Barrockstadt, miss.
Welcome to the East Block Control Center. To start, press the number sign. If you are using the Haltenberg lock, press 1. If you are using the Morloff lock, press 2. If you are using the Konningpass lock, press 3. If you are using the Barrockstadt lock, press 4. To return to the last command, press the number. If you want to raise the water... You want to lower the water level. To confirm your choice, your request...
Hey there! On the boat!
Guten Tag, schöne Mademoiselle!
My husband say, hello.
Right, I've got it. I know now how the locks work. So guide your boat into the lock, and I'll take care of the mechanism.
Gott verdammt! Das ist eine...
What did your husband say?
You, hurry up. We hurry to travel again.
Okay. We'll meet each other on the other side. By my train, okay? Hey there! On the boat!
Da, barge on other side. You still need us?
What do we do now to tie my train to the barge?
Mademoiselle Takatak, loco coco mitchen.
What did your husband say?
You attach chain to train and chain put train with barge.
Hop! Catch us up!
Hey there! What do we do now to tie...
Mademoiselle Takatak.
What did your husband...
You attach chain to train and...
There. Your barge is over the locks.
Yes, Belange.
My husband say, return to train.
Okay. I'll...
Das wird...
Everything okay?
Yes.
Oscar, there's no way you could help me.
Russ?
The university authorities want to.
They have a.
Hey, that's not
the problem.
Whatever. Oscar?
In a while.
If that's going to work. Hello, Kate Walker here.
Miss Walker, this is Professor Ponce. I'm about to start my lecture on the Yukon at any moment. Please make haste to come.
Okay, I'll give it my best.
Excellent. We'll be in the main lecture hall. See you soon. Ah, there you are, Miss Walker. Good, good. Take a seat quickly. I'm impatient to start my lesson. My young friends, A very exciting discovery, unimaginable up until only a few hours ago, has come into my hands and has finally allowed me to complete my study on the mysterious Yukol people. Lights, please. The Yukols are a people from the far north about whom very little is known. They live far away, very far away, on the frozen borders of Syberia. This distance and the climatic conditions of the region, which are unfavorable to human existence, have limited the size of the Yukol population and kept it out of reach of the scientific world. The handful of slides that follow are actually the only documentation we have in our possession. It was a Russian explorer who made these drawings and took these photographs 100 or so years ago. Today, we owe what we know about the Yukol people and their culture to him. We know that the origins of the Yukols date back to the last ice age. Curiously, evidence of their presence has been found in Western Europe, and more precisely in the prehistoric caves at the heart of the Alps. This people, it seems, undertook a long migration over centuries towards the far north of the globe. The reasons for this migration are due to the importance of the mammoth in their craft, trade, and culture. They used them for transportation and as beasts of burden. The mammoth brought them meat, skins, fat, and ivory. Man and animal lived in symbiosis. There's no doubt about it. Mammoths started to drift away from the region due to changing climatic conditions, and the Yukols followed them to the north, the edges of Syberia. Prehistoric cave drawings, identified as Yukol in origin, first led me to the extraordinary hypothesis that the Yukols had managed to domesticate the mammoth. They are, to the best of our knowledge, the only prehistoric people to represent a man riding a mammoth. Today, because of this genuine mammoth skin effigy, identified by myself as an authentic Neolithic object, I can confirm this hypothesis. Yukol forebears managed to tame mammoths. Prehistoric man uses little imagination. He draws what he sees and represents scenes from real life. This familiar day-to-day object is actually a children's toy. As we have seen, Yukol existence was inextricably linked to that of the mammoth. They used its skin for clothing and to make the roofs and walls of their houses. They used the tusks to build the frameworks of their homes, as well as weapons, tools, and jewelry. Curiously, the disappearance of the mammoth 12,000 years ago had no immediate effect on the Yukol's way of life. It seemed that for a long time after, the people maintained their strong bond with the mammoth through the centuries. As incredible as it may seem, the Yukol people have continued right up until the start of this century to feed themselves on mammoth meat and to use the skin for clothing and shelter. Their ivory craftwork industry is still flourishing. It would appear that to preserve ancestral customs, the Yukols learned how to exploit through the centuries the large number of frozen mammoth carcasses that were perfectly preserved in the ice of the Siberian tundra. They have been able to live mainly off this enormous freezer stock for almost 30 centuries. As plausible as this explanation may seem, it seems it is not enough for the scientific community who, I will confess, is greatly perplexed by the question. In the absence of acceptable scientific evidence, we have to make do with Yukol shaman artifacts. The research department that I have the honor to represent today lends no credence to the myths and legends that these tribal charlatans peddle. We have to take their stories at face value, mere tales to while away the long Siberian winter. The legend of the Siberian Ice Ark is a very good example, and you are invited to find out for yourselves from the pamphlet that I had passed around to you. This legend would have us believe that today, somewhere on a lost island to the north of Syberia, there are living mammoths still in existence, a sort of hangover from the Ice Age. This small herd has been miraculously preserved for more than 120 centuries by the Yukol's tender care, and the island on which the pachyderms are said to live is called Syberia. My friends, I advise you to resist the temptation you may have to believe in this pish and tish. The island of Syberia is not charted on any map, and the idea that mammoths have survived to the 21st century is an idle scientist's pipe dream. The Yukols were sadly among the first victims of the colonization of continental Syberia led by the Russians in the 20th century. The Kolkhoz and Sovkhoz systems, as well as the exploitation, disdain, and humiliation people had to suffer, marked a definitive break in the Yuko's traditional lifestyle. Since the collapse of the communist regime, the Yuko population finds itself confronted with the same political and social upheavals that other Siberian communities are experiencing. There are two consequences to arise from this. Some Yukos have lost their tribal identity and have integrated into the Russian population. Others, however, have sought long and hard to re-establish links with their ancestral culture that was lost under the Soviet regime. Now, at the start of the 21st century, the last true surviving Yukos have gone to live on the vast territories of their ancestors. Nobody knows today where they live or how they survive. Their very existence would be a matter for speculation if they did not turn up periodically at the tundra's most isolated fur trading posts to exchange mammoth tusks for essential items. There ends my lecture for today. Thank you for being among us today, Miss Walker. Please make your way to the laboratory where you will find your mammoth doll. There are also photocopies of my lectures should you so require them.
No point. It's locked. Everything okay?
Yes, Kate Walker. I am waiting to continue our journey.
Oscar, get ready. I'm going to start winding up the clockwork engine.
Good, Kate Walker. Then we can carry on our journey. An engineer prides himself
On punctuality. I know, Oscar, I know. Oscar, couldn't you just try giving me a...
My incompetence in this matter will only hit...
Always thinking of... I'm off.
Yes.
I don't need to do that again. Professor, it's me. I've come to pick up the mammoth doll.
The doll is waiting for you there, Miss Walker. Please take good care of it.
Don't worry. I'm beginning to get quite attached to it myself. Can I trouble you just a little longer?
With pleasure, Kate. I'm all ears.
What would you say about seeing Hans Vorarlberg? I must congratulate you for...
What you heard was only the tip of the iceberg, my dear. But if I have at least awoken a passion in you, I'm only too proud.
Did Hans Vorarlberg agree with your hypothesis on the Ukels being able to tame mammoths?
Now, Hans was no man of science. His pathological obsession was to find mammoths that were still in existence. Such a hypothesis is somewhat overblown, don't you think?
You don't believe in it yourself?
Mammoths died out thousands of years ago. Of this we are certain. Today, the only mammoths in Syberia are frozen ones. Huh?
Do you know where Hans might have gone after his stay here in Barrackstadt?
No, but I would not be surprised if he left in search of the Ukels, or what is left of them today.
I'll leave you in peace. I hope I haven't disturbed you too much.
Sorry? No, not at all, my dear child.
Hello?
Where are you?
Hi, Dan. I'm in Barrackstadt.
What? Is that a town? I hope the man you're looking for lives there. Are you coming home soon?
From what I gather, it's one huge university with an extraordinary station, aviary. If you could only see it, there are trees and birds everywhere. It's so weird here.
Sounds like a great place for a bit of sightseeing. So, are you coming back soon?
I don't think so. In fact, the train I'm traveling on has some kind of a mechanical problem. We've been forced to stop here.
Us? I thought you were alone. Who's with you?
Oscar, the train engineer.
You're messing around with mechanics now, are you?
Don't be so stupid, Dan, please. Oscar is an automaton created by Mr. Varlberg, the man I'm looking for. And he's not any old robot. He's a sophisticated butler type, if you see what I mean. He's a bit obsessive as well.
Kate, I don't know what they're feeding you in Europe, but don't you think it's time that you came home?
But my mission still isn't finished.
To hell with your mission. I don't know why you accepted it in the first place. If you just stuck to the middle of the road, then we wouldn't be in this mess.
We? If there's any mess, it's me who's in it. And while I'm trying to come to grips with strange towns, you, my darling, are sitting at home on your butt. I seem to remember we had nothing against my departure.
It was only going to be 2 or 3 days, Kate. Please, try to put yourself in my shoes.
Your shoes. Not only do I have to fit myself into your diary, but I've got to get myself into your shoes as well? Is there anywhere else Sir would like me to put myself while we're on this subject?
Look, I don't want to talk about it now. Call me back when you've calmed down.
I was perfectly calm before I picked up your call. I only wanted a few words of encouragement, not your disdain. Was that too much to ask?
You can be such a selfish...
Takes one to know one, sweetheart. Everything okay?
Yes, Kate Walker. I am waiting to continue our journey.
Oscar, if you tell me one more time something's missing, I'll...
Everything is ready. Take your seat, Kate Walker. We are leaving.
I'll... Okay... What are you doing there, Oscar?
It is imperative that we comply with railroad and customs regulations, Kate Walker.
Oscar, don't you think we could drop the trifling details once and for all?
We need an exit visa to get beyond the wall, Kate Walker.
And you wouldn't know where I could get one of them from, would you?
There is usually some form of authority stationed at a guard post that is strategically positioned to issue such a visa.
Do you realize, my good man, that as a lawyer charged with an important matter of inheritance...
Kate Walker, we still need an exit visa, in any case.
Oscar, don't you think we've...
You neglected to find the clockwork winding mechanism for the train with sufficient haste, Kate Walker.
What nerve! And you refused to lend a helping hand. Help that could have been invaluable to me.
I agree, Kate Walker.
If you weren't so obsessed by procedure, we wouldn't have had a hitch.
I am not entirely convinced, Kate Walker.
Oscar, please, let's get in the train and leave, can we?
Yes, Kate Walker. Give me the visa.
I don't suppose you can help me get this visa, then?
Your non-supposition is correct, Kate Walker.
Okay.
Yes, Kate.
I wonder how that works. No point. Hello?
Kate! Oh, is that you? What's going on?
Well, I finally got the mechanical train wound, and I hope it's going to take me to Hans Vorarlberg. I had to sort things out with a couple of weirdo sailors, and they probably ripped me off. But now I'm blocked behind this massive wall. You should see it, it's huge.
I'm not talking about that. I want to know what's going on with Dan.
What do you mean?
I bumped into him at Maggie's do, and he said you'd argued.
That's a bit over the top. Things got a bit heated the last time we called, that's all. No need to go overboard.
I don't mean to be Miss Melodramatic, but he didn't seem in such great shape. He had his down-in-the-dumps head on.
Like Dan has a down-in-the-dumps head.
Well, yeah, when that shock of hair flops over his forehead and his eyes missed up and his eyebrows kind of creased together.
I'd never noticed. Maybe I did go a bit too far, but he's got such a goody two-shoes image of me that sometimes I just lose it. And this case is taking up a lot of headspace. I was just looking for a bit of compassion.
Well, you sure got mine. So, what's going down?
Like I said before, I'm kind of getting somewhere, but it's slow. This Hans Vorarlberg guy is getting more and more fascinating by the day.
Okay, well, anyway, it doesn't sound like you're bored. Not like back here in the office. Every day is boredom day. It's just no fun without you. When are you coming back?
Shouldn't be long, I hope. Look, I've got to go. See you soon.
Well, call us again real soon. And be easier on Dan next time, huh?
I'll try. Good day to you, sir.
Captain Malatesta, Commander-in-Chief of the Barkstadt Border Post, at your service, madam.
My name is Kate Walker. I've been assigned by my company to find a man who is supposed to be living in Syberia.
What a peculiar mission, taking so many risks for such a futile goal.
Captain, to my mind, the military zeal with which you insist on guarding this meaningless wall strikes me as equally futile.
I should be offended by your words, miss, but I forgive you, because you are young and unaware of the very real dangers lurking in store for us.
I need a visa to cross the wall and to continue my journey to the east. They told me that you are the only person in a position to issue such a visa.
Indeed, this responsibility is part of my duties. However, I am not currently issuing visas because nobody must venture beyond the wall.
And why not?
It's far too dangerous, in particular for a lady of your standing who is traveling unescorted.
Dangerous? What exactly do you mean, Captain?
The enemy, miss. The enemy. I've been observing them for several years through my telescope. There's one particular horseman stationed yonder. He's a scout from the invading enemy army, and he's been spying on us. So I have to be extremely vigilant. He knows that I know he's there, you understand? And as long as I keep my eye on him, he won't dare try anything.
Are you sure?
Please, take a look for yourself.
Is the person who takes care of the gate anywhere around?
There is no person who takes care of the gate. Believe you me, ma'am. I have been the one and only guardian of this gate since 1968. That year, I took over the position from the late Lieutenant Colonel Malatesta, my own father.
In that case, can you tell me how the mechanism works? It sure looks complicated to me.
Not at all. It is child's play for anyone who takes the time to work out its surprisingly straightforward logic. And from the looks of your locomotive, it shouldn't pose you any problems.
Why do you say that?
When I caught sight of your formidable locomotive, I immediately said, heavens, only Hans Vorarlberg could design such an engine. And I know what I'm talking about, ma'am, because he invented the gate's original mechanism. It was his last creation here in Barkstad.
So you know Hans Vorarlberg?
No, I mean, not personally. I was only a baby when he stayed in Barkstad. My father spoke often of him, and I knew about his inventions. He left very many things behind him.
I know.
In any case, I noticed that his fantastic knack for inventing has not deteriorated with age. How's he doing?
I don't know. In fact, I don't actually know him. I'm searching for him. An inheritance matter. I hope his train is going to lead me to him.
And why not? His inventions are always full of surprises.
Between the station aviary and this bleak wall, the change in atmosphere is radical, don't you think?
It's been a long time since I've been at liberty to judge, miss. My duties forbid me from abandoning my post.
Don't mind me if I retire, Captain.
Please, madam. My respects.
How strange. I can't see a Cossack horseman at all. There's just a dead tree in the middle of an empty plain. That poor captain must have really bad eyesight. Look, broken glasses. If they belong to the captain, then he sure has eye problems going by those lenses. I don't need to do that again. Colonel, sir.
Captain, miss.
But you have the air of a great officer.
You flatter me, miss. Unfortunately, I'm afraid that we frontier soldiers are often forgotten by the military administration.
There's no justice. I sympathize with you, Captain. Let us forget our worries for a moment and have a little drink together in the name of friendship.
It would be my pleasure, miss, but the regulations strictly forbid it.
Come on. A little glass of wine never hurt anybody, and nobody need know.
Wine, miss? You are putting me in a very delicate situation.
Don't deny yourself, Captain. Just a little glass. I assure you, it is excellent.
Well, perhaps just a drop.
Here's your glass. To your good health, Captain.
And to yours, miss. It's been a long time since I've drunk wine in such pleasant company. I admit, it is excellent.
Isn't it? You wouldn't think it came from Barrickstadt. It is made from the Amazon forest Sauvignon grape that has been miraculously conserved and cultivated in the station garden.
Well, well, well. The university authorities kept that one to themselves.
You know, Captain, it is essential that I continue my journey eastwards.
Please, don't even think about it. As I've said, it's extremely dangerous. The enemy is spying on us.
Perhaps your Cossack horseman isn't quite what you thought. Perhaps it's just a dead tree twisted into a strange shape. You should take another look. You never know. Go on, Captain. Give it a try.
So be it. I will make this concession to the fairer sex, miss. But it does seem to be quite ridiculous. Incredible. How is this possible? By what strange magic? How could I have been so wrong for so long? The enemy was only a tree. I'm so ashamed.
It's not that bad, Captain. It's only human to make mistakes, after all.
A tree. Nothing but a dead tree.
Pull yourself together, Captain. It's okay. And now I suppose there's nothing stopping you from issuing me a visa?
Yes, of course. There is no more danger. All these years, and now the Cossack has gone. There is nothing left to watch.
Captain, you should be delighted. From now on, you don't have to stay pinned to your watchtower. Travel can start up again normally. You will be able to resume your regular duties like issuing entrance and exit visas.
You are right. I will sign you a visa to cross the wall frontier immediately. 1,000 apologies. Here, miss.
Thank you, Captain. And keep your eyes open.
Miss, if we could keep this between ourselves, please. For the sake of my honor, you understand?
You have my promise, Captain. No point. It's locked. Oscar, can't you please forget about procedure just for once?
You're...
Oscar, don't...
You know...
What?
I agree.
If you...
I am not...
Oscar...
Yes.
I don't suppose... Okay.
Yes.
Here is the visa. I hope it's regulation, my dear Oscar.
It is regulation. Here is your ticket. Have a good journey, Kate Walker.
So, can we go now?
Indeed. We are already very late, Kate Walker. Your ticket, please.
You know, Oscar, you might not think so, but I also know a thing or two about procedure, and that's one bit of procedure I'm not going to forget about easily.
As you wish, Kate Walker.
Yes, for once we're going to do things as I wish. Here you go, Oscar.
Thank you, Kate Walker. Now, please return to your seat, Kate Walker.
Yes, Oscar. Immediately, Oscar.
Kate Walker! Kate Walker!
Oscar, what's going on? Why has the train stopped? Where are we?
The springs of the train are unwound again, Kate Walker. As for the question pertaining to our geographical location, I really haven't the slightest idea.
Well, we'd better get looking for a winding machine, my dear Oscar. I hope that this place actually has one.
The air here is so polluted that I could not possibly risk leaving the locomotive. My joints might corrode irreparably.
Right. Let's see. Gosh, it's really gloomy here.
I have total confidence in you, Kate Walker. You are, after all, a brave and resourceful woman.
Yeah, right. Oscar, you couldn't make a little effort for just this once. If we both went looking for the winding machine, the two of us together might find it quicker.
You are in all probability correct, Kate Walker. But the high level of heavy metal miasma that pollutes the atmosphere could cause havoc to my wheelwork.
See you soon, Oscar.
I shall stay right here, Kate Walker.
That door is locked. I've got to find another way around. If that's going to work, Hello? Hello?
Kate? It's Dan. Can you hear me?
Dan, is that you? I can't hear you so good. Dan?
Hey, Kate, let's talk. It's about the last conversation. Are you still mad at me? Come on, it's important.
Dan, you're breaking up. I'll try and call you when I get out of this mine.
You're fine? Kate! Come on, what's happening? Listen, we've got to talk.
Look, the line's just getting worse and worse. I'm hanging up. If that's going to work... This thing's jammed. That looks like a ventilation duct. It's too dark to continue. I don't need to do that.
My dear brother, what joy to have news of you after your long silence during the war years. So you're working for the Russians now. I tell you, we've been hearing some worrying stories about them here. Just your description of that dingy factory makes me cough. But it's so good to hear that your talent is being recognized for its true value, and that your automaton creations are taking the place of workers for all those menial jobs. I'm so proud that Vorarlberg automatons are making such a contribution, even if it is small, to the improvement of people's lives.
Meanwhile, back in Valladolid, we've been licking our wounds after the war years. Some people have returned, others not. Life is slowly coming back, but it's taking time. All my love, Anna.
No point. Oscar, what's going on? Why has the train stopped? Where are we?
The springs of the train are unwound again, Kate Walker. As for the question pertaining to our geographical location, I really haven't the slightest idea.
Well, we'd better get looking for a winding machine, my dear Oscar. I hope that this place actually has one.
The air here is so polluted that I could not possibly risk leaving the locomotive. My joints might corrode irreparably.
Right. Let's see. Oscar, you couldn't make a little effort for just this once. If we both went looking for the winding machine, the two of us together might find it quicker.
You are in all probability correct, Kate Walker. But the high level of heavy metal miasma that pollutes the atmosphere could cause havoc to my wheelwork.
Gosh, it's really gloomy here. I wonder where on earth I'm going to find a winding machine.
I have total confidence in you, Kate Walker. You are, after all, a brave and resourceful woman.
Yeah, right. See you soon, Oscar.
I shall stay right here, Kate Walker.
Can't go that way. Hey, you there! is locked. I've got to find another way around. Yes?
Kate, can you hear me this time?
Yes, I can hear you just perfectly, Dan, but I can't talk to you now. I'm in a real hurry.
I wanted to say sorry. I know I wasn't very understanding last time. I've been feeling a bit bad about it.
Okay, you're a real sweetheart, but I've got to leave you now. I'm not angry with you, so don't worry. I've just got to catch up to someone, and quick.
But Kate, this is really important.
I'll call you back, Dan. I'm sorry. My God, Oscar! Oscar, talk to me! Are you okay?
Why, it is absolutely inadmissible, intolerable, and indescribable. I have been attacked.
What do you mean you've been attacked?
My hands! I no longer have them! They have been stolen!
My God, you haven't got your hands! But who did this? What's going on here?
We can be sure of one thing, Kate Walker. That this heinous crime was committed by a barbarian. A dysfunctional individual whose behavior lacks all finesse.
Did you get a look at your attacker? Tell me exactly how it happened.
I was standing here polishing up my metalwork. I was just thinking that with all the dust in the air, it would be a good idea to...
Oscar!
I was very busy, and I suddenly felt two powerful arms grab me from behind and tie me up before I had the chance to defend myself. I wanted to call out, but my attacker gagged me before I could emit the slightest sound. Then he dismantled my hands with a terrifying pair of pliers. It was horrible.
I can believe it, my poor Oscar, but did you see him?
He was a real barbarian, I tell you. He had bloodshot eyes, steel teeth, and brown scaly skin, and he emitted foul odors. He was a monster, Kate Walker, a real monster, and he had a weapon.
Oscar, please calm down. Everything's going to be all right. Right, Oscar? Let's go find this hand bandit. And this time, we're not going to be such a pushover.
Kate Walker, please do not think that this problem does not concern me. But if it's all the same to you, I would so much prefer to stay here, just to be on the safe side. An engineer never abandons his train, after all.
Yeah, sure. Another good reason not to lend a... not to help me out.
Kate Walker, even an automaton deserves a little compassion. I have just been savagely assaulted. Oh, I can feel one of my spasms coming on. I am on the verge of a clockwork breakdown. And all you do is accuse me of being selfish.
Okay, take a rest, Oscar. You're not much use without your hands anyway. Anything else?
I have told you everything, and I'd rather not think about it anymore.
Right, I'm done.
Good luck, Kate Walker, and don't forget me.
No point. can't go that way. I can't. I don't want to touch it, in case I break it. That looks like a ventilation duct. That door is locked. Hey, you! Who are you? Careful, I'm warning you. I'm not afraid of you, okay? What do you want? Why did you do that?
There must be some misunderstanding.
Because you reckon theft is all about misunderstanding, do you? Give me my hands back. Now!
Your hands? And what are those on the ends of your arms? I can explain everything to you. You see, I'm no thief.
You broke into my train, assaulted my driver, mutilated him, and stole his hands. Apart from that, you are not a thief.
I have not stolen them, miss. Only borrowed them for a while.
You've got to be joking.
I'm not joking with you, miss. I would never take such liberties.
They belong to Oscar, my automaton engineer. Why did you steal them?
They are extraordinary. Real mechanical wonders. I would never have been capable of designing such hands myself. Never. Such workmanship, such precision crafting. It is incredible. Absolutely incredible.
And just because you like them, you decided to steal them?
I have only borrowed them, little missy. Temporarily, you understand? Of course, I shall return them to you when I don't need them anymore. You can...
Excuse me?
You see, these hands are all I need to complete my plan. At last, I can finish off my automaton pianist and fulfill my dreams. Everything is now in place. You see, I have converted this old, useless, stupid factory into a magical theater. As you can see, the furnaces, piping, chimney stacks, they've all been converted into one gigantic organ. I will be able to accompany the world's greatest living singer. Now all I need is her...
Who are you?
Sergei Borodin, the director of the industrial city of Komkolzgrad. Or what is left of it, at least. But who are you, for that matter? And why have you stopped in my station without authorization?
I didn't choose to stop in your station, but my train has a technical problem. My name is Kate Walker, and I'm an American lawyer.
It is very kind of you to come so far just to visit this place.
I repeat again, I never intended to stop here. I'm on a business trip. I'm a lawyer, goddammit.
Right. And what brings you here?
Like I said, a stupid mechanical hitch. I'm sorry, I can't make heads or tails out of your story at all. Without my engineer's hands, I'm stuck here, you see?
Everything I have designed, all that I have invented, everything is for her. Do you realize? Her. Oh, to hear her sing one more time, here in my factory!
But who is she? Who are you talking about?
Helena. The one and only Helena Romansky. Her voice is so pure, like an angel. One day she came here to Komkolzgrad. She sang here, you know, when our industrial city was in its heyday. Oh, so long ago now. It was almost unreal. It was magical. I remember it like it was yesterday. Then, later, a long time later, she saved my soul. She saved my life and gave it meaning. When I was told that the mining program was to be abandoned, that this industrial city was consigned to oblivion, that I, its director, would from then on be nothing but a guardian of these rusting remains of a bygone age, that is when I first formed my plan to bring Helena Romansky back to this factory. But this time, she would sing for me, and me alone.
And is she okay about this?
Sure. Once she finds out that I have done all this for her, when she realizes how I converted this vast network of pipes and tubes to create one of the most impressive organs ever made, then, you know, this was no small achievement, miss. Once molten iron flowed through here. Now there wafts only beautiful melodies. But then I realized I had to make an automaton pianist. I began to despair that I would never create hands that were intricate enough. But then you arrived. So lucky, don't you think?
Yeah, that must have been a happy coincidence for someone around here. So, when will this Madame Romansky come back? When do I get my hands back?
I don't know. Maybe someone should look for her. Tell her. Hey, why don't you go? The quicker you bring her back, the sooner you can carry on your business trip. Now, isn't that a good idea?
And you promise that once Helena has sung, you will give me back my automaton's hands?
I promise, my dear. You have my solemn word.
Well, I guess I'm going to have to believe you. Where should I go hunting for this singer, then?
I have no idea. But for a woman of the world like yourself, finding her should pose no obstacle. Helena Romansky was a world celebrity, you know. I have collected many objects, souvenirs of her that I keep in a room. A shrine to her glory. It's like her own personal museum in a way. You should take a look.
This whole story is completely nuts. And what if I helped you to make some other hands just for your automaton?
Why should life be complicated when I already have what I need? And I very much doubt you are in any position to create such a perfect pair of hands.
You mentioned an automaton pianist, didn't you?
I pieced it together myself, my dear. Except for the hands, that is. I admit that I underestimated the intricacy of this part.
Your passion amazes me. Have you...
No. Clockwork mechanisms do not interest me as such. I simply needed a robot capable of accompanying Helena Romansky on my...
An existing model, you say? Did you ever know Hans Vorarlberg? He was a kind of mechanical genius, like yourself.
Hans Vorarlberg?
Sure, I understand. The number of automatons still functioning in this abandoned complex is amazing, though.
My dear, one thing is for sure. For many years, I have been totally alone here.
When you stepped on the train, you were trespassing.
Everything in this city, sweet lady, belongs to the state. And to all
My train is not a part of this factory. And besides, we never would have stopped here in the first place.
Well, as long as your train is
out of the question. And
Maybe I won't have to. Perhaps we can...
I hope so. Please excuse me.
So be...
Listen, obviously all this has been just one big misunderstanding. So you're...
Out of the question.
Please.
So...
Seems this monorail is controlled from somewhere else. Hi, Mom.
Kate! What? Have you been in time? Why are you calling me in the middle of the night?
Sorry, Mom. I forgot about the time zones. Did I wake you?
Well, of course you woke me up. I was sleeping deeply, too. I simply got to get my beauty sleep. I've got an absolutely crazy day tomorrow.
I'm sorry. It's just that it's real important and urgent. I haven't got a lot of time.
Well, if it really can't wait till tomorrow, Munchkin, come on, tell your mommy what's up. No way I'm calling Dan for you, if that's what you want.
Mom, listen, please. I seem to remember you're seeing a Marovich or something like that at the moment.
No. Malkovich, Munchkin. Frank Malkovich.
Yeah, right. So, but he's an opera singer, right?
That's right. They say he had the finest voice of his time, my dear. Imagine that.
That's just great. So then he must have known a famous singer called Helena Romansky. She's Russian too. Please, if you can ask him if...
Listen, honey, if it's stars you're after, Frank knows them all. I'll just wake him up and let him tell you himself.
You mean he's...
Frank, do you know this woman named... Oh, you do? Oh, Kate, listen, you're still there. Frank tells me he did hang out with a Romansky once, but it was platonic. You know those singers. She's a great soprano.
Great! Does he know where she went? Does she still sing? Where does she live?
1 second, Munchkin. Do you know? Oh. Frank says she was very ill and she withdrew from circulation. Really? Oh, what is... Oh, okay. She went to rest in some spa somewhere. He thinks it was called Arlbad, but it was 15 years ago and he's not sure. And well, honey, when Frank wakes up, he always takes a little bit of time to get going, you know.
Thanks a bundle, Mom. And Frank, too. You're both fantastic. Love you both. And thanks again. Catch you later. Hello?
Did I wake you up? I can't sleep at all. This whole business just keeps turning round and round in my head.
What business, Dan?
But Kate, that argument we had, have you forgotten? I really need to talk about that again.
Oh, I guess we were both a little high-strung, that's all. But don't sweat it, okay?
Yeah, sure. Getting carried away never solves anything, does it? I must say I felt really dumb when I hung up.
Really?
Yeah, I left the door to my office open and I was convinced everybody around heard me.
I'm so embarrassed, Dan. Please say I'm sorry to your colleagues from me.
It doesn't matter, honey. Promise me that you will never put me in that state again. You're usually so delightful. I have the impression that this journey is putting more than distance between us.
Well, it's true I'm living a whole load of new and amazing experiences.
Okay, I see. And still no Hans Warlberg?
No.
Keep me posted. You know how important you are to me. Hurry home, huh?
I'll try. Big hug, Dan. Director.
Ah, it is you, Miss Walker.
Director, I think I know where Helena Romansky is.
My God, you have found Helena? That is fantastic.
How can I get to Arlbad?
There is one way that you can. Here in the city, there are no suitable vehicles left.
What drunken old fool? You mean you're not alone? What's up there?
You mean you haven't noticed the space compound on the plateau? There's still some pathetic old soldier guarding it. But he's more interested these days in reaching for another bottle than reaching for the stars.
And you think this gentleman could have a vehicle for me?
I haven't the slightest idea. If you catch him on a good day, then maybe. But good...
How do I get up to the space compound, then?
There is a monorail that leads up to the Cosmodrome. When you are inside, I will activate the automatic pilot.
Why don't you come with me? After all, you're the person in the best position to convince Helena Romansky.
Unfortunately, since my accident, I seldom leave my office if I can avoid it.
From my research...
Arlbad?
You know the town that...
Of course. It was a famous spa resort. In its heyday, Arlbad...
It sounds like a good place if you need to take...
I think Madame Romansky would be happier here.
Okay.
I am
Hello?
Kate! Oh, that you? How are you?
Olivia. Great, just the right person. Look, have you heard of Helena Romansky?
No. Is she some Russian fashion designer?
No, she's a singer. I'm going to be meeting her soon. I've just got to find a way of reaching Arlbad. Can you imagine how lucky I am?
Not really. Well, what relation's this singer got with the toy case? You sure you know what you're up to, Kate? You sound really different, like you're changing or something.
Look, it's like this. If I'm going to get to the end of my journey, I've got to link up this singer and the director of the Komkalsgrad Industrial City. Don't worry, I know exactly what I'm doing. Why did you say that I've changed?
I don't know, just an impression. You sound more sure of yourself, like stronger, more confident.
And that's a problem?
There you go. Just takes one word and you're up on your high horse. I'm beginning to see Dan's point of view. It's getting harder and harder to back you up all the time.
What does that mean?
Well, it means that I had a drink or two with Dan, because he wants to talk. He feels a bit lonely, you see?
And what's he been telling you?
Nothing. He just has the impression you're slipping away from him. He can't see where you're coming from anymore. Like, we went to the movies the other day, and he said that you would have loved the film, but I told him that...
You mean you're dating my fiancé?
No, not dating, Kate. Just propping him up while you're away. All in a good cause. I can keep an eye on him for you at the same time.
What would I do without you?
Oh, you're jealous. Well, that's a good sign. That means you want him. Now, that he'll be pleased to hear.
You seeing each other again soon?
Tomorrow night. He invited me to dinner at the Goldberg. You don't mind, do you, Kate?
No worries. Look, I've got to go, Olivia. Take care.